Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Full-Time Banter Show. This is part 1 of the Fantasy League section. My name is Tariq.
I'm Liam.
I'm Riz.
And we have got a chock-full show right to the brim. All 3 parts. Part 1, we're talking about Kane or Spurs assets in and out, what we're doing with Mendy, and a few other things we'll go through. Got the full list here. Goalkeeper set and forget. We've got a question coming in as well, and I'm looking at goalkeepers potentially. Burnley back on the mend.
Possibly.
And the Chelsea versus Liverpool debate, with everybody having at least 2 assets from each team.
Interesting,
So we'll be looking at that. Part 2, Star Wars. We're going mental on that. Yeah, so I'm having a bit of a rant on that. We've got some comments coming in. And part 3, football. Yeah, Miguel, my number 1 fan, has been in touch again.
You're number 1 fan or number 1 fan of the show?
It seems to be, yeah. It seems to be either that or he's been sacked. He's got a lot of time on his hands. But yeah, he's been to and fro all day today about Messi versus Ronaldo. Yeah, a few people have been in touch, had their say so.
Happy days.
We're going to crack straight on. Yeah, we're missing the Carabao Cup tonight. Liverpool v Chelsea. Yeah, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to
said
make.
the forbidden word.
Yeah, instead I had to endure Derby United yesterday, but in the end it turned out all good. Yeah, we'll talk about that in part 3 as well. So make sure you tune in, like, share, subscribe. Yeah, and tell your friends. Press the little bell as well so you get the notifications. And on Twitter at FullTimeBanter7. And as
Got that after so many weeks. Remember that NEQ.
yeah, so at FPL Dive said today, this must be the best goddamn podcast in the world.
Well, you know, we're going to toot our own horn, but
Damn right it is, yeah. So away we go.
Let's get in.
Full-Time Banter League. Take it away, Liam, our top 10.
all right. So in the 10th position after last week, when I mentioned him, he's come to the fore. Sahib Slaughter Squad is back at number 10. Gulshan Jane, you're talking to me, at 9 with 398. Also there, Porto AZ Travellers. Doing a lot of moving around there, guys, with their maybe with the caravans, I don't know. Up above them, and number 7 is Triple X Joe Gallagher with 401. Dalmatians, mate, or is that have I got that wrong? I don't know.
Did it?
Ahead of that, Bill City FC, Billy Mottram on 402 points in 6th place. Metamorphosis Plus, Adam Omar on 412 points. Also, the Garthatron going a bit down the league with 412 points as well in 4th position. Mighty Reds Wannabes, Andrew Mercer, 416. Show Me Damane, number 2, Chris High, 424, and Gunning San, not saying his name because it trips him up every time, in 1st place with thank you my good learned colleague on the left, 439. But one of the big shocks of the week,
He's disappeared!
The inevitable has happened. I'm currently 12th, but you know the table's lying to you a little there because
whatever.
I'm actually on. Sahib is on 396.
yeah,
And myself and Omar Tariq are on 395. So we're just a point out of the top 10. And in fact, not very far off 3rd place. 20 points. Easily doable. Yeah, I'll be back in there, not to worry. But moving on. Low scores of the week. Who's taking the low scores? Do you want to do it? I'll do it. You do it.
me, yeah.
Go Liam, because I know you want to do this one.
See, I have nothing against Newman Shahid and Team Crispy. But yeah, 29 points. The average was 52 for the week. So coming in at just around half of what the overall rankings was. Nothing coming from midfield or up front, really. De Gea in the defence, but even then, 4 players on 0, 5, 6, 7 players on 0, 3 on the bench, and 4 on the pitch.
He's actually got 3 that were injured.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'll give you a bit of insight into Numan Shahid and Team Crispy. 103 out of 107 in our full-time banter league. Only 243 points overall, but it's because he's made no transfers
At all.
So literally, I think out of sympathy for me, he's put together a fantasy league team, entered it in the league, and then doesn't care less.
He's done the set and a forget.
The whole team has been set and forget.
Or a zombie team. I don't know if you've heard of these zombie leagues where they're quite popular actually. You do exactly this. You pick your 11
and then just
for the season.
Just leave it.
Nice. I quite like that.
No subs. No captain changes, nothing at all, and you see what happens. And it's not good.
Jack Wilshere would not be in one of them teams, would he? You'd have no.
Mate, it's like having a lucky dip every week. That's what he's doing.
So yeah, he's Numan Shahid is amongst the 11%, the 500 and odd thousand people who are inactive officially.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the figure. Yeah,
But like a secret agent, KGB in Russia, maybe
Sleeper.
Sleeper,
sleeper cell. But I've got a feeling Team Crispy might be cropping up a few times as the lowest score.
Yeah,
if it does happen again, we might just pick somebody else and drop the whole damn thing.
He may just change his name to Team Crackers soon. That's what it's looking like.
But here's a bit of a positive note. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I dropped out of the top 10, but representing Riz with the highest score this week. Dun, 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 dun.
It's about time.
Take it away, Riz. Tell us. Yes.
Kind of fortunate, to be honest with you. There was a couple of changes I made. I was undecided. I was going to take some minus points, and then in the end I just thought, leave it. Pedro's injury forced my hand, so I bought Willian in. Did Jack.
Yes.
Should have left him. And should have taken into consideration the next lot of fixtures, which we'll touch on anyway. Liverpool, Chelsea. But my main man was Mitrovic. Bought him in for Arnautovic, took him out. Kind of like for like replacement, pretty much, for the goals and the price. Then my man Maddison is there doing the business.
Lucky again.
Hey, no,
lucky Maddison.
Whatever. And a lot of people were saying Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
Get rid, and I just kept faith with him.
I did.
So I kept faith with him. He did well. At the back, the only mistake I made personally was not having Wan-Bissaka because he was on my bench.
One ball.
I had 25 points on my bench. Fabianski, 11.
Wow.
Wan-Bissaka and
That's a hefty
Jimenez.
bench.
So, but to be honest with you, two of the Chelsea defenders did well, 6 points each.
Yeah.
Robertson and Alisson, the others at the back. So the back was pretty solid. We went for Salah's captain choice for once. Slightly paid off. Wasn't bad because the others did miserably or didn't do as better than I expected. So which was quite fortunate. So overall happy, and it's moved me up this table. Green.
It has green arrows ahead.
Let's go.
You've overtaken Liam in the league, in the full-time Banter League.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you've gone shot up ahead of him because you're up to 29th now.
Nice,
a couple of places ahead of him.
Because I know I was at like 44 at one point. Well, last week I was at 44.
42nd or something. Was he at 44 because you've moved up 15 places, 361 points overall, up 530,000, up to 417k, so inside the top 500k.
Happy days, we're talking about being in the top million.
Week. Fantastic. No, I can't believe you only just got Mitrovic in. Mitrovic is...
you know what I've been like with my team.
I know.
I said to you at the beginning I'll have him, but then I just...
Looks like you're slowly getting back on the ball.
I'm just I'm actually taking it a little bit seriously. A little bit.
Because Mitrovic just seems to be the gift that keeps on giving this season.
It's good.
Absolute
It's
value.
good.
Liam, tell us about yours.
Yeah, so I only made one transfer. Who went out? Bernardo Silva went out, who promptly scored, which happens, and it's annoying at the time, but that is the nature of this game. So there was no point. No point. No point getting wound up about it. So brought Richarlison in. More for what he's going to do after this game, because he was coming in against Arsenal, so didn't really expect anything, and he did nothing, but that was fine. After that, the Palace boys doing the business on at the back for me. Robertson, good money getting in, but a few injuries. Mendy, Pedro, and Ings, who couldn't play because they were playing Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
parent club. Yeah.
So the three players that weren't going to play. Would it have been different if they had? Probably, but I'm all right. I'm hugging that early 30s.
Because it's showing that you stayed in 32nd, but you were 31st last week.
He's been consistent. He was 31st. He's down one place.
Yeah.
But even then, 51 points overall, so bang on the average pretty much. And that's give you green arrows because you've gone up 82,000 points to 597 as well.
I seem to keep, even though I'm in our league, I'm not doing anything, and it's not even like people are overtaking me, or if they are, it must be an equal amount. But
it's the fractions of points. That's what I was going to talk about. Because with mine, we'll move on to mine quickly then. 59 points, and I took a -4 hit. I did something really stupid this week. Talk about that in a second. But those 4 points, the 4 that I got taken off, is a massive either red arrows or green arrows. It's making a huge point of 4 point difference. Yeah. So I mean, mine, flipping it, absolutely atrocious. I didn't follow through with the plan. that I'd agreed last week, which I should have done. It wouldn't have paid off anyway, but
Guess
I would
what
have.
happened? Mind games worked. Mind games
It
clearly worked.
wasn't mine. What I said, in case you're not aware, I said last week, no, I am not getting Hazard. I'm not being talked into it. But then what happens to flipping Pedro? Yeah, he got injured, so I thought, well, I need some midfield cover.
Park him on the bench.
I needed some midfield cover, and I thought, well, it's an excuse then. So I made 3 transfers, 2 free transfers and a -4, which I didn't recoup. Yeah, it didn't work out. I compared it to the players I would have left in, it would have been roughly the same. So yeah, I should have just got Fraser and Doherty in, but I took an extra -4, got Hazard in as well, stupidly. And then, that's not even the worst of it. The biggest one I'm gutted about, Keeper switched Fabianski out. That's,
thinking Hazard's going to get a hat.
Exactly. I'm thinking I've got Hazard. Why do I want? Let's try the other guy. I'm blowing Burnley on steroids or something. I don't know. They just went mental.
Burnley done well. Burnley done well. 4-0
on Bournemouth. Yeah. So
good all Alan Lennon.
Cherry's got popped.
So 59 is quite a respectable score. I've been looking around, obviously, Twitter and stuff like that, and the podcast that I watch. And 59 is quite a common score. Obviously, some guys did really well, got 70s. So I'm happy-ish. It could have been a lot worse, could have been better as well, though. Fraser could have done something after I got him in after all these weeks. But down to 12.
I did say
395 points total, down 18k to 90k overall.
Still in the top 100.
Still banging, yeah. So happy with that, but I need to get back up. In there, yeah. That's going to move us on to our first topic, which is Kane and Spurs, yeah. Because I've actually had a couple of questions, incidentally, from somebody on Twitter. Can't remember his name right now. But Spurs, if you didn't know, have got Cardiff and Huddersfield coming up.
Well, Huddersfield first,
then
Cardiff. Barcelona, then Cardiff, yes.
Yeah, quite.
I thought you were calling Cardiff Barcelona then. I got really confused.
It's like one of those, fashion tags. Huddersfield, Barcelona, Cardiff. Yeah, no. But yeah, and that it's funny, those fixtures, lots of other teams are getting Cardiff and Huddersfield together. I don't know how the fixtures have come out this year.
Yeah, because the computer that does them is so random.
Yeah, so not run by Mr. Blatter, is it, by any chance? But yeah, because last week we said, are we getting on in any Spurs? And we kind of said, no, we don't get the feeling that anything's going to happen. But looking at our teams now, particularly mine and Liam's, you've still got Eriksen in.
I do.
You've still persevered.
It's annoying because he keeps
getting the twos.
He keeps doing something. And I'm like, oh, that might be okay. And then he does jack all. And then the Spurs have a run of games like this with Huddersfield and Cardiff. And you go, well, he must do something.
Yeah.
Just even a clean sheet. Just have 3 points. Just do something like that. But West Ham's the game after that, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, West Ham after that.
So, if they don't, they seem to be turning. So maybe people were premature getting Arnautovic out. I know I possibly was. But I think if Spurs don't do anything in these next 2 games, I will be probably taking him out before West Ham, because I don't think they'll be. If they can't get anything against Huddersfield or Cardiff, I don't think they'll. I
was going to say though, there's not much point getting him out now. May as well keep hold of him. But Reece, have you got any reason to bring in Spurs players?
Every reason. Obviously, looking at the fixtures. I mean, given what's gone.
But
beforehand. However, I mentioned this last week. It's a very dangerous game. It's a double-edged sword, because the way Spurs are playing at the moment, they can get tripped up by anyone at the minute. They can turn up and they can play atrocious, or it'll take them 90 minutes before they get a winner, and that'll be that, and that's it. So you're not really going to benefit a great deal. But having said that, Huddersfield can still score.
No, because
Cardiff can.
Go ahead.
They've shown against the big boys. So Cardiff shown they can score against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Huddersfield shown they can score against Huddersfield.
Annoyingly.
So this is what I'm saying. So therefore, when you look at it, you're going to be looking at the attacking returns. You're not going to look at the defensive returns, in the sense that as soon as they score, or if they score, there is a probability there.
Yeah.
Your clean sheet's gone. You're buggered. So where do you maximise your points? It's midfield and strike. Now the big question is, who do you compromise in your team to take them out, and also where do you find the figures to get that return back?
I've never had a problem finding the figures, lads. You know what I mean?
Gotta find.
So for me, at the minute, I'm going to be very hard pushed in terms of to be convinced, unless they have a stormer against Huddersfield and like whack them 6-0 or something. And then maybe I jump on the bandwagon after the Barcelona game and have them play Cardiff. But at the minute, no, I'd stay away.
Yeah, well, because Kane's saying he's happy, he's feeling good now.
Kane's always happy.
Better. Yeah. I think, yeah, he's not. He's clearly not in the last few games. Because I know I've been hearing again lots of talk about people already planning for transfers to get Kane in and then Kane out again. Because they're using Salah as the make weight. I'm personally against that. I will not be going for Kane. But I've got a reason, an excuse, and this is what I was saying. Somebody got in touch via Twitter. In fact, I'll try and pull him up if I can.
Have a look at it.
Yeah, because his scenario is exactly what I've got in place. Because he said, and he's doing very well.
Who is it?
His name is at Socratic Bowes. Yeah? At Socratic Bowes. I don't know if that's his name or that's just a moniker he's come up with.
That's just his
But it's pretty fantastic. At Socratic Bowes 198, whose overall rank, he's doing very well. His overall score is 399 and his overall rank is 71k. So he's made a fantastic start. He's got the usual players in. But he's asking, he was saying, I'm confused if I do Mendy to Trippier or keep Mendy or do Mendy to someone else. Now that's my exact same situation because I kept hold of Mendy.
I got Mendy in mind.
Yeah, so you've stuck right, so we're all in a similar situation. So is there any point keeping hold of him and in my case playing Doherty instead?
Very much so.
You think so?
In my opinion.
Because
personally,
Wolves have got Bournemouth away.
Irrespective, because what you're going to find is, if for example you bring in Doherty for them, it doesn't give you the returns example for that, then you got a price increase elsewhere or a decrease in another player in your squad. Mendy's price is likely to go down because of inactivity. If there's going to be a lot of people who are thinking the same and taking him out, you're then left with a dilemma is, how do I bring Mendy back in when it counts? And also knowing Pep, he does favour Mendy, and most likely, irrespective of his rotation process, Mendy's going to be one of the first names on that team sheet.
Yeah.
So therefore, you then have the dilemma of, how do I break up the back three, which is a template that you've got there, and by using Mendy as a makeshift, you're going to cause yourself problems because your team is going to be more unbalanced. Because what you're going to start doing, once you start making changes to that defence with Mendy out, in my opinion, you're then going to look at a way in bringing him back in.
Well, if, as you say, sorry to interrupt you there, if, as you're saying, his value's gone down, then he's easier to bring back in.
No, well, that's what I'm saying in that respect, in terms of his value going down, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the rest of your team value within your team is going to go up, because you're going to look at what changes you make. You might bring in a replacement for him, they don't do jack, they don't perform. So as well as Mendy's value going down, their value is going down because they're not already at a high price anyway. So how you bring him back in is then upsetting your midfield or your strike.
Well,
so you're unbalancing your team, and that's the way I look at it. Like Richarlison, what I did with Richarlison, I bought him in at 6.7, but he offered me 6.5 when he came back in anyway. So yes, I took a 0.2 hit, but I know the long-term investment in that is hopefully going to pay dividends. And that's what I'm doing with Mendy.
Well, I'm going to bring it up now because for me it seems a lot less complicated than what you're explaining. I mean, take your point on board, but for me, the way I see it, right, if I do my transfer, I see it as a straight swap for Trippier.
You can have Trippier. Well, then that's you've answered your own question that you answered earlier about bringing Spurs players in.
What I'm saying is, that was with Kane in particular. And with the midfield, I agree 100% with your point. With midfield, I would have had to mess about and change something. And who do I bring in? Because I'm only really tempted by maybe Dele Alli now. I know I said Mora last week.
He's on his way back from injury anyway, Dele Alli.
But again, it's not a certainty, is it?
I got Mora cheaper.
But then I think the other thing that you put yourself into a predicament is, you've said this yourself countless number of times though.
I know, I contradict myself.
Pochettino.
Rotation City, that's
he
it?
loves his full-backs being rotated.
Yeah.
And obviously you're probably going to see that if Trippier doesn't start Saturday or Sunday, whenever, I think Saturday they play Saturday, he's going to play against Barca. So, you've got premeditated chance in seeing what it is, but then that's going to cause you more headaches.
Trippier's 6-1, yeah?
Yeah.
And selling Mendy is 6-1.
6-1. At the minute, it's bang on, that's what I'm saying.
So it's a straight swap. Or you go for one or the other. If you want the certainty, Vertonghen's at 6.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing, you got options to play with, but I personally would keep hold of him. I just think he's a valuable asset.
Because Wolves are the next 2 fixtures then, because I'll be keeping him for 2 weeks then, so he'd have to play. Southampton at home. Sorry, I got it mixed, tough fixture, Southampton at home. They might just edge that. They create the chances.
Well at the moment as well.
And but then Crystal Palace away.
I would expect Palace to.
It's a funny
old game.
Statistic. Palace have not scored at home apparently. I've not checked this out. Is this right?
Well,
I think they have scored at home.
Have they? I
think they have scored at home.
Did they score against us when we played them?
No,
I think they didn't
score again. You won them 3-0. You beat them 3-0.
Yeah. So
beat them 3-0. I think Crystal Palace have scored at home.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I can't remember against who though.
I think the only thing on the Mendy thing is that he's unknown when he's going to return, isn't it?
Yeah.
If there's no return date.
There's at least this week, or possibly the following week.
Well, listen,
that's fine. If he gets after that, I think that's the time.
In this day and age, Liam, as we say, we have the FPL community.
Yeah,
so the noises that are battering about, we have our good old friend on the Twitter handles as well. So
at full-time Banter 7, we knock that. Yeah, anything good we see, anything we hear, we pass it forward.
What's he called? The dude that done.
Which one's
on Twitter? What's he called?
The
guy who tells you about injuries.
Yes, Ben Dinier.
Ben Dinier, that's it.
Yeah.
I call him Dan. Sorry, Ben.
I've probably Ben Dinery.
Ben Dinery. And he's always on it.
Yeah.
And he's always on it. And it's not just him as well. It's like the other guys out of Football Scout as well.
Yeah.
You know, we've got who got the assist or stuff like that. So we're on it. We're always on it. We're always looking at it. We're in the know-how.
We are. Moving on quickly then, because we're taking long there. Basically, the way I see it, you've got 2 options. With Spurs, good fixtures. If you think you want to be in on it, that defensive, you've got Mendy straight in, and there's not too much fiddling about trying to get Kane in or trying to get Ericsson, Dele Alli, whoever. Or how about this? There's another option is get a City defender, Laporte. He's nailed on, most nailed on. Yeah.
Most nailed on, but rotation with him is quite common with Mendy or John Stones.
Laporte's started every game so far.
He has, but he's going to be rotating.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Okay. Oh, yeah. From the grapevine. Yeah. Okay. Direct line to Pep.
Pep hotline.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Next point then. Goalkeeper set and forgets, and quickly becoming a bit of a friend on Twitter. Yeah. Acquaintance at FPL Fring. Great name.
Thank
We're all fans of Breaking Bad as well.
I've never seen it.
You've not
got a life, have you?
You need to.
6 years.
You need to get in more.
8 years. Get in. I know.
Stay at home.
I'm a social butterfly. That's the problem.
I know.
Start dealing in some proper crystals.
We've got there's an FPL Eisenhower, which means nothing to you as well.
President of the US.
No. Yeah. Heisenberg. What am I
I was wondering what you were saying.
FPL Heisenberg.
I was not even heard that either.
And there's FPL Fring, and I was thinking of maybe doing FPL Jesse. Yeah. You know Jesse at least, don't you?
From Toy Story 2, yeah.
No.
Anyways, moving on, Daddy. Come on.
At FPL Fring, he says using free transfer on a goalkeeper seems a waste, but De Gea has to go, and he's had this issue for a couple of weeks. He's been mentioning it. Who would be your set and forget replacement? Are you surprised at David De Gea's performance this season? Well, at FPL Fring, to answer your second question, I'm not surprised at all. I've said it from the start of the season. We're looking at stats last season. The United defence way overperformed, and David De Gea in particular. So this season, I
don't think De Gea personally overperformed. I think De Gea
he did.
In terms of what with that defence. I get it because
his
of the defence.
Rate.
He saves on that, but I don't think he's overperformed. I think he's performed to the level that he's
doing his job.
Okay,
and that's what he's there. But I get where you're coming from.
He's not done so far this season. That's the point. Yeah. So you need to get rid. That's what he's asking. So who's your set and forgets?
Well, I've got mine from the start of the season anyway. I've got Alisson in and him with Fabianski set and forget pretty much because I've not used Fabianski once.
Right.
Alisson. Yeah. Alisson.
And you've got Liam. Who have you got in?
I've got Pickford and Ryan, but both of the fixtures for Brighton and Everton always seem to correspond.
Yeah.
So like if
So you
one
can
like this
rotate,
week,
like,
so if
home
one
and
was
away.
playing Tottenham, the other one was playing Liverpool,
Yeah.
I think, and it was a bit like, well, it doesn't really matter who I have in because they're both up against it anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
So to be honest, before I read the schedule for tonight, I was looking at who can I bring in because I always end up bringing De Gea in after about 6 months and going, why haven't I done this sooner?
You've
But
said this before,
but
yeah.
this season,
That's not
obviously
happening, yeah.
no, and so I went on and the big man over here, Alisson, 5.6, 30
Yeah.
points is it?
Yeah.
And then you've got money at the top because I'd probably even get rid of Ryan and do a straight swap for Hennessy, Hart,
There's
or
no
Etheridge because they're a lot higher up the.
There's not a great deal of difference between Alisson or Edison, in my personal opinion. However, the difference what you find with Edison is he's not always busy keeper.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is he isn't always
Facing
having
shots.
shots against him, because his defence in front of him is probably doing a pretty decent job. Whereas at least with Alisson, irrespective of how Liverpool are playing so far and conceding the least goals at the moment, you've got two advantages there. One, if they don't concede goals anyway, he's pretty much bang on getting a clean sheet. So clean sheet bonuses.
Unless he
stuff like that.
decides to have a bit of a dribble in the box.
If he does, gets carried away and goes out. But the other thing as well
do
is,
everything with style.
if his defenders do decide, to go for a walkabout now and
Yeah.
again, he's there and he's going to get chances to make saves. Where I think with Edison, it's more that he'll see the danger beforehand and it's not classed as a save because he's coming out as a sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
Positioning, yeah,
So therefore, he may have to work twice as hard to earn the points that Alisson probably get you. And I think he's a 0.1 or 0.2 cheaper.
Yeah, well, Alisson is
Alisson's
5'6" and Edison's 5'7".
Yeah, so 0.1. So-
But looking at the stats, I've not got right up to date, but look, I think it was last week, the stats I was looking at last week, or possibly even the week before, I did mention it. Edison's slightly misleading, his points and everything as well, because his shots he's facing, like you say, he's not facing a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But of the ones he's facing, his save rate isn't fantastic.
No.
I can't remember it off the top of my head now. With Liverpool, we're actually conceding very few big chances.
Yeah.
So Alisson is making very few saves at all, if any. And you've seen that in the last game, Southampton. First shot on target was 91st minute. And he's one save he made first. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why you've got the double
Yeah.
point effect there. Because if he's not making saves, he's getting clean sheets, and if he is making saves, he's going to get anything that he gets extra on top of those saves. So
to answer your question at FPL Fring, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking, well, he said set and forget, so presuming he's going for a slightly higher end luxury keeper. So in that case, I'm saying Alisson.
if he's going to get a keeper to forget, then he might as well get one that's 3.9 or 4 million. And I think that is.
As his number one.
Forget number one's
Set and
Alisson,
forget.
possibly.
Yeah.
Number one will probably be Alisson.
Yeah, so
also one
Alisson
of the
and then
highest
whoever else, any cheaper one. What about two budgets if you wanted to rotate? Because I've been saying I need to address my keeper situation as something pressing always comes.
There's two that I'm going to mention,
Go
and
ahead.
if I did want to go for budget keepers, one would be Rui Patricio at Wolves. Both busy, and both at the moment, given the defenders
defence
in
is
front of him,
tightening up,
is
yes.
tightening up as well. Okay,
Yeah.
but they are going to now and again concede chances because down the channels they're not that great, so they're getting crosses coming in and they're finding it difficult to mark.
They're
up on
attacking
set
a little
pieces.
too much,
Yeah.
aren't they? Yeah.
The other keeper, who now at this point, having seen the fixtures go by now, you will probably have to consider Fabianski back into the fold again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fabianski. I was going to get rid of you.
Because I said
He's
at the
back in the
beginning of the
fold.
season, I said the first 10 fixtures for them
Yeah.
were likely to be where they weren't, and the first 4 fixtures proved me right because he wasn't really getting any points.
Yeah.
But over the last couple of games, Pellegrini's got him playing in a way that's more stable.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're going to see more chances against them.
What about the two I was looking at is I like Patricio. Fabianski I've already got. I'm not going to get rid of. But I was looking at potential replacements of Hennessy or Hart. Now Hennessy's gone up by 0.1. He's 4.6, but I've got 0.3 in the bank. And Hart is a surprise one now.
Hennessy is always trusted. Sorry, Liam.
No, you're
It's
right.
just there. Hennessy is always trusted. However, the only problem you're going to have, if anyone's got Crystal Palace defenders, if you've got more than one Crystal Palace defender like you have, for example,
Two, you've got pairing, yeah.
yeah, so you got Tompkins and you got Wan-Bissaka, you then now pair it up with a rotation of a keeper with having Hennessy in there. You then potentially have to look at either disrupting that or playing with the 3, and if they concede,
All three.
that's the risk.
Yeah, all three
But if
lose
they
the
don't,
points.
But that's the risk.
Yeah. Well, Wan-Bissaka, Super One-Ball, he gets bonus points. Yeah.
He does, yeah. He
gets bonus points.
That's a team. I'm going to use that as my team name next year. One-Ball, First Blood.
Hey!
Yeah. That's a bad
Anyway, so I hope that answers
hopefully
FBL things question.
More. Yeah, so yeah, set and forget Alisson is the way to go. Easy, I think. That was an easy question. We're done pretty much before we move back on to, Burnley. Burnley back on the mend. Yeah, and everybody wants them to be back on the mend, don't they?
Yeah.
And I've just got rid of Tarkovsky. Yeah. So,
Sean Dyche is, now that they're out of Europe, he's going to start doing what he does best, and he's going
to... Out of the cup as well last night, I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I'll be lying to you, I didn't even pay attention, I was not training. But, having said that, they are on the mend. However, the only problem is, you can see a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon of either Goodmanson,
the
midfield, Ashley Barnes, or they're either going to be looking at bringing back in me, Tchaikovsky, or Hart. So take a pick wherever.
Yeah, so I mean, 2 good performances so far. I love Burnley, love having their defenders. Had them last year. Loughton was the star for me last season. I think he even had me as well.
Yeah, the only disappointed I'm with Burnley at the moment. Good old friend of ours from last year, Long. They're not even playing him at the minute. He's getting goals for fun and scoring points.
Ward hasn't got the game either. Yeah. But we're going to keep an eye on Burnley because that's potentially another way in. Another cheaper way, again, the Mendy situation. If you want to abandon Mendy, get a cheap Burnley defender in, you got money to spare there.
Yeah.
Money to burn.
The fixtures look reasonable as well coming up.
Chelsea versus Liverpool, final point quickly. This was saying, because the way I see it, loads of people are talking ridiculously about benching either Robertson or Alonso, saying, there's going to be goals.
Yeah, but there's always the potential for assists with both of them. So I would rather take 3 goals, but they get an assist and get 5 points.
Yeah.
And I can see why people are doing that. But I can also see the dilemma if you've got a decent enough bench to replace.
Yeah, fair enough. If you have, but still.
Well, if you haven't,
it's the highest scoring. Is this still the highest scoring player? The highest scoring player on your bench.
Well, this is the thing. This is where it differentiates, isn't it? This is where people look at the differentials, and this is interesting because, like for example, I'm in a predicament where last week I took Pedro out and I bought Willian in. Yeah, I've already got Alonso and I got Aspilicueta defense. Right.
You've got 2 defenders.
I got two defenders. I got Willian as well, but then I've also got Alisson in there and I got Robertson in defence. And then I got Salah, so I got 6.
Well, this is it. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
I'm not changing anything. I know how I play it, but I'm just saying that is predicament what I can understand for most. Because I
don't think it's a predicament. If most people are in this situation, I've got Alonso and Hazard now, stupid Hazard, and I've got Salah.
Take him out.
Salah and Robertson. But I see it as a win-win situation, right? Yeah. Reason being, I'll explain why. Well, firstly, the games have been tight recently, 1-0 wins. Yeah? So somebody's going to get a clean sheet. Yeah? And even going off the cup game tonight, I know it's a different lines, but it's still 0-0 at half time. Yeah? So it's going to be a tight game. If your attackers score, fantastic. Doesn't matter, your defenders have conceded, you're getting points somewhere. And hopefully Hazard and Salah are going to be involved
if it's them do score.
Yeah? Or your attackers don't score and your defenders get the clean sheet.
Watch like someone like Mane or Firmino score.
I know, yeah.
Watch someone like Jorginho
or
Kante.
Kante! That ship has sailed, mate. Kante, what the hell? Everyone jumping on Kante.
But yeah, listen, I personally don't think it's an issue, and if it was, but I can see why people will probably want to bench him. However, your options to bench them, to replace them, would then have to be fairly solid, had to be reasonable, because you can't just make an emotional connection in terms of taking them out of the team.
Club loyalties.
Not even that, it's just a case of people
panicking.
Well, it's just emotions, like you said, talk about people bringing in certain players, for example, as soon as they score, and then before the game's even finished, they've already got them in for the next game, and they don't realise that they're playing like a stupid, ridiculously informed team.
Exactly, yeah. So keep an eye on fixtures, plan ahead. I don't think there's too much to be panicking about. Most people have got settled teams now. Most people have got their way into Mitrovic and the Wolves defence on the budget players and things like that. So everything's looking rosy for most people.
Do that, it's good.
We're going to finish on this. Liam, you're not aware of this. Our friend Miguel on the old Twitter. He's rocking it with the banter.
He's rocking it.
Got a little bit carried away, and he's placed a little wager with the three of us.
Alright.
Two in fact, but it's two separate ones. Firstly, he said, I'll give you the good news first.
Oh.
He said if the three of us finish inside the top 50 of the full-time banter league, he will take us out and treat us the next time he's up in Manchester.
Oh.
Yeah, London boy up in Manchester. He's going to take us out.
Was it top 50 or top 25?
Top 50, I'm sure he said top 50, yeah.
Okay, for some reason.
Better because I'm not moving from 32. I'm hugging
I'm
that
thinking
thing.
top 25 for some reason in my head.
I'm going to double check that. I'm fairly certain he said top 50. Yeah?
Okay, fine. No.
On the flip side of that, his end, he said, because he's currently sitting 99th. Wow. He said if he finishes inside the top 50, you might be right now. It rings a bell.
Is it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if he finishes inside the top 50,
From
then
his current position.
Yeah, we have to buy him an Atletico Madrid shirt. Yeah.
So I like Atletico. I'm okay.
And yeah, I mean, look at the weighing up the balance of that. I think we got off.
I'm a fat lap. I'll have no respect for your cars.
Yes, so we got off lighter there because Atletico Madrid. I mean, they must be going for what, a tenner now these days. The Atletico Madrid shirts, Miguel. So
What's everyone done? He's so angry.
The only difficult thing is going to be having to root through the bargain bin to find one that fits you. So wager accepted. I'm going to double check whether it's top 25 or top 50.
I think it is top 25. You know.
Top 25.
Coming back.
We'll smash it. Don't worry, Miguel. Not an issue. Yeah.
I think it is top 25.
Yeah.
But while Tariq is looking for that to get his facts right, and obviously it's
Yeah.
on tape, it's recorded, you know, we don't want to make a boo-boo of this big deal, verbal contract and all that rubbish, you know, get his legal team on us. In the meantime, like, share and subscribe at Full-Time Banter 7. Get your thoughts, views in. This part's pretty much nearly up in the next couple of minutes.
We'll find the information, or I'll put it on Twitter.
We'll put it on.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. Get involved.
It is a gentleman's agreement either way, whichever way you look at it. So don't let Tariq, with his bitterness towards Atletico Madrid or any other football team, bar Liverpool.
I pity everyone.
You know, get you down. He pitied himself a couple of years back, so at the minute he's okay.
Okay, right.
On that note, have you found it?
Right, I've got his. He said, obviously, I've not checked where I am, and I only dabble. So he's getting his excuses in already. I only dabble in and out of this. I still know I'll finish top 50 and get my beloved Atletico jersey off you lads. Yeah?
Hey.
Oh, right, and it is, yeah. So if I finish top 50, you lads top 25, yeah. So it is top 25, yeah. So Liam,
good job we checked that for you, DJ.
Put your finger out, mate. Okay, right, that's enough. We've got a banging part 2 film section all about Star Wars. Hence the, can you give us a Wookiee impression? Hey, banging, okay. And part 3 football as well. So don't go away. Tune straight into part 2 and part 3. See you shortly. Bye-bye.